It's okay.
No, don't you press anything.
It's fine.
Press comment.
Yeah, right, folks, thanks for coming in. I know it's kind of late, just after 9. It's a really good morning, really, isn't it? So tonight we've got Yvette from Ghost Bitches back with us again, and we've also got Forrest from Ghost Witch. Sorry. So thanks very much for coming in, ladies. It's great to see you again, Yvette, and it's good to meet you, Forrest. So we already know everything there is to know about Yvette, we think. So, Forrest, you tell us a wee bit about yourself, how you get into the paranormal and, when it all started for you.
Well, I think it was a bit of a grower from when I was about 5 years old. And I had a goldfish called George, original. And he jumped out of his bowl and barbecued himself on the central heating grid on the floor. And that's how it started, funnily enough, with my obsession with the dead. I buried him, and every day I would dig him up and take him into my mum with my little hands and go, "Look, Mum, his ribs are showing." And that is how it started for me. I was thinking about that today, and I thought that's how my obsession with the dead started. So digging dead stuff up in the garden. And then it progressed into sort of spells and ghosts and haunted places, buying books and haunted places and getting a bit obsessed with that. So there you go. That's
it. Not due respect to your goldfish, but that's about it. I've never ever heard, kind of a barbecue goldfish got you into the paranormal. It's kind of different. Hi, Mr. Cat. Thanks for coming on, though. It's kind of different, do you know what I mean? So, after you get in here through your barbecued goldfish.
I became a freak quite young. Not sure where it came from, but it escalated to where I am now.
So how are you growing up?
Now I'm grown up. I have money to travel to more interesting places and talk to the dead. So, just started going off to different places on the ghost hunts, sort of group ghost hunts, and then bought my own equipment and buggered off and kind of did it on my own for a bit. So
what, see, when you were a child, through your teenage years, what have you? How did your friends kind of react to you being into the paranormal and what have you?
I think they just accepted me. I've always just been a little bit out there, so I never used to go around saying I believed in ghosts, but there was definitely a few things that have happened to me that were unexplainable, shall we say. But yeah, I just had generally weird friends as well. So I think we used to spur each other on and just get into mischief.
Or is you kind of all fitted in together?
Not so much. I used to read sort of tarot, and people were genuinely interested in it because they'd never seen it before. And I must have about 15 sets now of fortune cards and tarot. So I started getting into that, and then spells, spell books, experimenting with that, and going to sort of mind, body, spirit fairs and listening to other sort of white witches talk about stuff. And yeah, so it's just been a gradual learning thing, I think, and it's because it's an interest to me. I just generally go off and do it, even if there's nobody to do it with. I'll go and do it on my own because I'm that weird person that stands around in graveyards on their own.
It's good to know you're not the only one in the world that does that.
It's me, the one that your parents tell you to cross the road from. Generally, tends to be me. Don't worry, Mom. Okay, I'm the weirdo.
That kind of, there's that girl again sort of thing, Don't talk to her. There's that girl again. Just stay away from her. I mean,
I talk to everybody. I've never learned my lesson. I've had some terrible people in my life, but I've got stories to tell, so it makes it interesting, doesn't it?
Every day's a learning curve. Really, that's a good thing about the pub. We were talking last night about that as well. Every day, doesn't matter how long you're in the paranormal for or been into it, every day you're learning something different. I don't think
everyone can come and talk to me, and you learn something from everybody, whether they're crazy or sane or whatever. There's no stopping me. Look, here I am talking to you.
Well, I wouldn't say we're crazy or sane. Maybe Yvette's a wee bit far out there. You know, she's Australian, but you know.
Well, that's what I love about it. It's like, you know, people find out that you're into this stuff, and everyone's got a ghost story. So they'll always come up to you and talk to you and tell us, you know, what's happened to them or what they've heard from a friend, and it's great. I love it.
But you're right, Yvette. Everybody, even if they don't believe it, I think everybody's had something happen to them at one point in life that they can't, you know, they just can't explain. But a lot of people will say, "Oh, that's paranormal." In case
and a lot of them go, you know, "Oh, I'm not crazy after all. Okay, that's what it could have been." And so yeah, it's that's been interesting over the years, definitely.
So, Forrest, where was your first investigation? What made you decide where did you go with your first ever one?
Oh, that's a really good question.
Scott.
It's hard to remember, isn't it? Because you've just potted around doing it for so long. You know, we posted Ouija boards when you're teenagers around your mates' houses and creeping everybody out so they were crying. But it was only last year, really, that I went to my, you know, sort of a paid ghost hunt. So we did the Skirrid Inn was the first one.
How was that?
Quiet. Got to admit, it was quiet, but it was good to break me into the, you know, to the group ghost hunt. We've recently done Shepton Mallet Prison and the Ancient Ram, which was interesting as well. But again, I must say, nothing happened at the Ancient Ram, but the prison was interesting. We'd set up a few REM pods, and I'd taken mine, and at the end of the vigil, both of them went off and they were at opposite ends of the room. So that was quite interesting. But to me, it's very scientific. I'm like, do I believe in ghosts, or is it just energy and science? I'm not sure. So that's why I'm kind of investigating. There's definitely something there, but I don't know what it is.
I think that's the best. The best way to be. You've got an open mind about it. I think there's far too many people these days that just automatically put it down to the paranormal. You know,
it makes it all the more interesting when you do get intelligent responses, because you're thinking, oh, I'm having a conversation here. So, you know, it's an experimental thing for me. I really just enjoy it.
So
fascinating. It's just fascinating. Like some of the responses that, especially like with ghost pictures, when you hear a disembodied voice that says your name, and when your name isn't that popular, it's fascinating. It's like there's definitely something there, I reckon. So, especially with that.
The same word comes through 2 or 3 times. You're like, that's weird.
Yeah. It's the intelligent responses through the spirit box, or even if it's a disembodied whisper, like that's just like whoa, and it's mind blowing every time I hear back to it and like edit. It just blows my mind. Like every time, it's like wow. Why didn't I hear that in real time?
You say, you know, if you've got an unusual name, you know, your name's Yvette. It's no unusual, but we don't know a lot about it. But if Yvette comes through the spirit box, then you know what else can it be? That's just my opinion. You know.
Yeah. We were in South Australia. We're at this haunted cemetery in South Australia, and through it said "ghost bitches," and that was like, what? That was really cool, and you can hear it. It's like really clear, and it was like mind blowing at the same time. So that was cool. So there's something definitely there.
Ooh, question.
Sky. Whether negative energy or spirit.
Negative as well. I always do a protection ritual before I put myself in these positions. Now, I'm not sure if how it is for other people. But I feel like I'm invincible, which is probably silly to some people. But at Shepton Mallet, I got put in a prison cell on my own. They volunteered me. I thought, yeah, I'll do it. And I went in there and I thought I could get really, really pulled into this sort of dark creepiness, and I really don't want to be in this cell on my own. So I shut my eyes and I just kept saying, you can't touch me. I'm too strong for you. I'm not playing your game. Stay away from me. And it's kind of the meditation that I do before I put myself in that position. You just go, you're not allowed in here. This is me. I'll talk to you, but you keep your distance. So I don't know. Maybe if I have the experience of a negative energy or feel like I've got an attachment, I haven't yet. So maybe I'm good at deflecting. Maybe I just haven't met a negative spirit yet.
Where were you, Yvette?
Yeah, I had something pretty negative happen here after Lady Pizzazz was with me when we used the Ouija board. Lady Pizzazz is my mate Sky from Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
And remember that when we used the Ouija board, Sky, and she'd gone back to Sydney, and then it was like I'd slept on the couch, and this negative, it was like classic death, death with the sickle and the hood and stuff, just came out of the hole because a portal opened up in the lounge room ceiling. It was like an energy portal, and this energy just came down and went thump straight to me. But this death thing, like about a week later, I was asleep on the couch and this just came down and it struck me 3 times with this sickle, but with the sound of metal on metal woke me up, and it was like negative, and I was like, fuck, we didn't close the portal off. So I had to get up there and smudge it and tell it to fuck off and never come back again. And it hasn't. So that's pretty, yeah, you got to realize that you have the power.
Mm-hmm.
You have the power. And like if you act scared, like I think if you're really scared, I think that's when it can affect you more.
I think when you're really scared, you're more open. And the Sarah's messing about with something. Another 2 seconds.
It was just the speakers.
All right.
They're making a feedback noise.
I think you see when you're in a situation like that and you're scared, you're scared. Whatever spirit is there picks up on this fear and tends to, it's like a magnet for it. It knows that you're weaker than maybe whoever else is in the room. So it tends to target you rather than somebody that's sitting there, having a cigar and no bothering. If that makes sense. So Florence, he says you done the ram in.
I've done what?
You says you went to the ancient ram.
Yeah.
And you didn't get much activity there?
Not particularly, no. I thought there was a shadow on the stairs, but is it my eyes because it's dark? I'm not sure. You see, I'm a bit cynical. I'm a bit of I've got to see something or hear something. And I have in the past, I have heard stuff. But for me, it's trying to find out why this is happening and, if it makes any sense to me. So, but the ancient ram wasn't that, it didn't have much activity for me. But Shepton Mallet, like I say, Shepton Mallet was interesting. A few things happened there.
That means you think John Humphrey still. Is that yours?
I don't know.
2 seconds, there's something wrong with it. It's the spirits.
I'm just
It
checking.
sounded like a toilet flushing from here, so I think I might have a problem.
It did actually, didn't it? It did sound like the.
I don't know because I've changed everybody's microphone settings and it's.
Wow. And the man, do you think John Humphrey's still points there? Boris.
Sorry, say that again.
The Raman, do you think that John Humphrey still haunts there?
Well, they told me that he did. But again, I'm not sure if I pick up on stuff like some people. I've got a friend who's sort of practicing medium, and she picks up on figures. She can't see a face, but she can tell how they're dressed, and things like that. Whereas the only thing I seem to pick up on is smells. So I'll smell something, and then the ancient in the room upstairs, I walked in and it smelled like embers. It smelled like fire. So I called my Muslim friend in and sort of said to her, "Come in here, it stinks like there's a bonfire right in the room." She couldn't smell it. So that's interesting to me, and it's something I'm finding out more about. But as for feelings and seeing things, I did when I was little, but not so much now. So people tend to see me as quite fearless because I'll go in that dark room on my own. Yeah, no problem. But I do have fear. I'm not invincible. And I don't want to be here.
Fear is natural, though.
Yeah.
Fear is.
I just hide well, I think, with humour and sarcasm, maybe.
It's the way to go.
Not sure.
I don't know what it is. Sorry about interference, but there's no a clue what it is. But as you say, Forrest, when you were younger, you used to, you'd pick up more than you do when you were older. Do you think that's maybe, see, I've got the theory that obviously kids are more psychic than adults because kids' minds haven't been corrupted. They're still kind of pure.
Yeah, they're more open to things like that, aren't they? They don't know what's real and what isn't. I mean, Santa Claus, fairies, stuff like that. We're brought up to believe in things we can't see. And as you get older, you make your own mind up and you sort of become a bit more linear, don't you? So who knows? I definitely smell things. But yeah, I don't have that feeling so often now of walking into a place and sort of going, "Oh, don't want to be in here." It's only happened a couple of times, so who knows?
You mean Santa Claus is real?
I mean, Santa Claus exists. He does exist, and he does bring you presents.
Because I wrote a letter 3 days ago, gave it to the postman. I've already sent my letter. I mean, how do you not tell me it's not true?
Sorry. You survived.
Sorry, I've just ruined Christmas as well. 2020 is a bit.
Well, why not buy a Santa suit then as well?
Do you really want me to answer that?
That's not right. Sorry, I couldn't resist that. Folks say Santa Claus isn't the deal. As lady, how do you pronounce that, Yvette? Pizzazz.
Lady Pizzazz.
We're definitely more sceptical as we go older. That's true. As I say, when we go older, our minds tend to open up and we, with media, social media, all the rest of it, and our minds kind of get corrupted a wee bit, and I think we tend to put up that barrier as you go older, against spirit and imaginary friends, etc. And as you say, Forrest, Santa Claus, thanks for ruining Christmas for me, but, it's life.
Sorry,
One thing I need to ask you both of you, I know you were over in Australia for a scene event. Did anything happen to the two of you when you were there together?
Well, see, my head was being crap and I had about a 9-day migraine?
Yeah.
We were supposed to go out for a ghost hunt and my headaches will be gone in the day and then they just come back at tea time every night. So I never got to do an actual ghost hunt.
Yeah, we never did it. And one of our friends took us, we were like, there's this graveyard up on Bell Street in Preston. And I was like, let's go check this out. And we were in the car together. And our mate who was driving was like, don't get out of the car. It's private property. So we didn't end up, going back there. So
me and you were like, oh, this looks so interesting. Come on, 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know. And you're not going to have that opportunity again. So that kind of sucked. But, yeah. And you got Ghost Witches now. So that's good.
Although it's tend to be Ghost Witch at the moment, but there you go.
Ghost Witch, yeah. How's that going? Found anyone to go on investigations with?
Yeah, I've met a guy called Lee who does the Paranormal Porn Stars, which is on Amazon Prime and stuff. And he has got a unit in Warsaw, and it's a 3-tier unit, which used to be a slaughterhouse.
Wow.
Yeah, he invited me over there, and I met him and his brother who do the show, and we kind of hang there sometimes, although I haven't seen him for about 3 months now because of what's going on in the world. But that's kind of turned into a bit of a base. So
Yeah, good.
Yeah, it's nice to just hang there and put all the ghost equipment on.
Yeah, nice.
Keeps us out of the rain, you know. But as for being on your own, it's quite difficult because being a woman, you don't want to be hanging around in derelict buildings on your own, you know. You feel a bit vulnerable.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that we can't really do that, considering there's been a lot of sexual assaults in cemeteries here in Melbourne. So, even murders. So it's like I've got to be really careful. And if
That's just the society that we live in today, though, isn't it?
See, we don't get into that up here, really, crime-wise, you know. I think we're the only, excuse me, team in our town where we live. I've not heard any other ones.
One other team in our town, but as far as I know, they're not
active.
Active.
You know. What about you, Forrest? Do you have a lot of groups round about you, or you maybe join up with another group?
There is one in Telford, but I think you can't. They're all cancelled, aren't they? Even the ones we booked. I think it was 2 days before they changed COVID rules, and then we were like, "Can we go? Can we not go?" But we did. But again, they've been cancelled. So what I really want to do is just get a mate or two to go off. You know, someone who's available. Because the other ghost witch is quite busy with family, sort of looking after her old dear at the moment, and hasn't got much time to come out and do it. So yeah, I'm just looking for sort of like-minded people, really.
Yeah, just as it's a shame. I mean, obviously it's not just the UK; it's worldwide kind of thing, and it's no disrespect to those that have caught the thing and passed away with it, but it's just. There's a lot of us included. We've got plans to go down south, Pendle, Nottingham, down to Wales, over to Hastings and what have you, and we just can't go. And as you say, Forrest, you don't know where you can go from one day to the other because you keep changing the rules.
Yeah.
Well, up here, one day you're allowed out with 2 people, the next day it's 6 people, then it's no people, and you think, what can I do? Can I go with somebody? Can I not go with somebody? And it's so frustrating. Obviously the folk that people are making the rules are doing what they think's best for the country and the people in it. But it's when you've got stuff sitting planned and you just can't go and do it, and you feel like you're just kicking about the house all the time.
Yeah.
You say your restrictions have just been lifted.
The thing is, as well, there's limited places to hunt, I find, unless you go to a paid organised ghost hunt. You have to pay sort of £600, I think it is, for the ancient ram for the night.
Oh, right. That's expensive. Wow. That's insane.
It's an interesting place, but if you wanted to hire it for the night, that's the kind of money that you're looking at for a night out. So you've got to have more than 10 people with you. I don't know, 10 people into ghosts. But I'd like to go into people's houses and stuff, things that haven't been over investigated, because I find some of these organised ghost hunts go there 3 times a week, and it's like, do the ghosts not get bored of answering the same questions? Do they get irritated? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
We were talking about that last night. We had a medium on last night, and that's what she was saying about, all these teams that go to the same location and they ask the ghosts the same questions every single time. And, obviously we can't speak for the spirits, but I would imagine they do get fed up with it.
Well, if you think about it, if you were to get asked the same question day in, day out, you'd eventually just want to tell everybody to get lost. So
It'd probably make them more angry.
You get this image of a spirit sitting on a wall like that, you know.
Yeah.
No, again, here's another one coming.
Tell you to F off through the bloody spirit box. It's like, yeah, I totally understand, dude. I'll leave you alone. Sorry.
I've had that a couple of times through the spirit box. Even like piss off.
Bugger off.
Spirits, just, I say many times, spirits just the same as they were in real life. And if somebody was asking me the same thing over and over and over again, you'd be like, going to just fuck off, basically, and leave me alone. You can go home. I'm here for eternity, and I get this every day, going and just bugger off. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. But when did we get that to Grace? I was going to say Graceland.
Greyfriars.
Aye, that place.
At the side of Mackenzie Tomb, remember?
You could tell to sod off.
I don't actually. I think it might have just been me actually.
I said, I don't remember it. It must have been you get told to F off.
I think it was me. I get told to go away, and that was fat.
That's going to ghost tell you you're fat and fuck off, basically. No, fuck off, fatty, I'm busy, do you know what I mean? Basically. So, because your lockdown's been lifted now, is that you all raring to go, all geared up and just wanting to get out investigating?
What was that again? Sorry?
Did I say it too fast? I did. I said that too fast.
It's the accent.
I get that a lot. I speak too fast. But I can understand myself, so that's the main thing.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
I know what I'm saying. So because your lockdown's been lifted,
Yep.
that you all raring to go kind of thing, all geared up and just wanting out the door?
Yeah, like I've got there's this, we got a lot of Australian bush rangers, and I came across when I was up in New South Wales last, I came across the graves of some people that this one particular bush ranger had held up their hotel, and you could hear in the background like whispering. And I did some research, and I found this bush ranger who's buried up in Gundagai in New South Wales. So now I can go and drive up to New South Wales and go and do a little investigation out up there, and visit the jails where he was jailed, and the cemetery where he's buried. So that's on the cards, definitely. So
I think a lot over here, a lot of teams will be the same. As soon as the government, whoever gives, the all clear, I'll just be like a mass exodus. All the teams spoke to are chewing at the bit to get out. So I think as soon as the Prime Minister or whoever it is says, right, it's fine, you can go, I'll just be like, woof, every in the country.
And some of the asylums are open as well now to investigate. So I've been looking into that. But there's a 6-hour paranormal investigation with a team. And I prefer to do things on my own with a friend. But that's like $155 to do that. But then there's hotel on top of that because it's a few hours out of town. But that's definitely on the cards as well. A few asylums and a few old jails. So
over here.
I don't know forestism down here. Do you have many down there, forest asylums and stuff?
No. I mean, I'm on a couple of urbex sites, and they posted a couple in sort of Wales, old abandoned asylums in Wales, but they're heavily guarded with security and the fences are all up. I'm not really into breaking and entering.
There is a few up here, but they're either restoring them to make them into big fancy hotels, or they're ripping them down.
Yeah. There's a few, but like I say, I don't really want to get into trespassing because the ghost boxes are loud and they echo. So if there's security on the site, I don't want to get my head smashed in, really. I don't want to be on the spirit box in a week's time because I'm dead. I'd rather just find little places of my own to go to. But this is difficult unless, like you say, you pay. But Yvette, you know, somebody at Shepton Mallet said, can we go off on our own? And they let them for 6 hours. So, you know, you might be able to do that.
Mm-hmm. So I know East Drive charges
£300 a night.
£300 a night for East Drive, and that's like 7 nights a week. They've got somebody in there, and it's a guy that owns it. So you know that's like over $2,000 a week he's making. It's insane. Just with people getting in and staying the night in the house. And do you think a lot of these places are just kind of after the money, basically?
Well, I think East Drive is, because I've heard from a couple of people that nothing really happened there. But each to their own, you know. I mean, like you say, the spirits might be fed up one night, and then the next night they might want to upset somebody. So
yeah, that's it.
So is it quite expensive over where you are for, you know, to go investigating? You say you've got hotels and stuff, and do you think venues over there kind of rip it a wee bit? Sounds
more expensive over in the UK, actually. But with the Aussie dollar and the UK dollar, it probably works out the same. Because this asylum I was looking at yesterday was $155, which is probably around $350, $400 for 6 hours, just for 6 hours. So. And then you got hotels on top of that because you don't stay there.
Mm-hmm. I think it's disgusting that you know, to me, there shouldn't be a charge. There should be a donation rather than a charge. Obviously, these places have got to be looked after, and it will cost, you know, some kind of money to look after. But I think asking for a donation would go down better than saying, right, it's £300 if you want to stay here the night.
Mm.
You know, that's just my opinion. We wrote articles originally in Asylum, and we had a ghost story there.
Which college was that? Sky? Old Art College. Is that in Wollongong or Sydney?
Is that what? Did you say Wollongong?
Wollongong. It's a place in New South Wales. Wollongong.
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 And Scotland's got some daft names.
Australia's got plenty of daft names. It's funny. Wollongong's one of them. Wollongong.
Just say it fast. Just be saying it right.
Wollongong.
You've said it right.
I mean, we done night and we done a live on Friday, and it was about how accents and words vary, you know, between like say England and Scotland and America and what have you. And we looked up all the Scottish. Well, no, quite a few Scottish towns with absolutely ridiculous names. And so I thought we had some daft names, but Wallen got that name, you know.
Oh, Sydney College of the Arts, yeah. I think I saw the Lunatics play there. That's just up on, what street is that in Sydney? Yeah, that's a beautiful building. That's a beautiful old building, that place.
So Shangela spirits are connected to the college and know the land, maybe? Or maybe a bit of both?
I'd say a bit of both. Definitely. Went to tunnels. Oh, there's tunnels under the school. It's in Rozelle. Okay.
You see, I can pronounce that, Rozelle. That's easy to pronounce. In Sydney, that's fine. Pronounce stuff like that.
But just no Wollongong.
Well, I don't know that one.
Wollongong, whatever the hell it's called.
Don't start, real seriously. I've tried it 3 times. I'm not going to do it again. I just don't have the accent for it, you know. The thing is, you're going to say, well, you're actually, I'm from Glasgow, you're from Ayrshire, but you sound a lot posher than me. You're like a snobby Scots woman.
I don't know why, though, because I'm from a rougher place than you.
You can't get any rougher than Glasgow.
You can. You break it up into the wee suburbs.
So, Forrest, I need to ask you, I've watched a few of your videos, right, and you're totally insane. With all due respect. You know, just totally nuts.
I like to entertain.
You certainly do that, aye. You certainly do that. I've watched them quite a few times. What's with the dancing? Is that something for the spirits or just something you do to amuse yourself?
These are the sort of things that happen when I've been serious for about 3 minutes 58 seconds. I used to teach in schools, and I can only do a teacher for about that amount of time before I start reading things in the accent of Gru from Despicable Me, or I can be serious for a bit, but then it just wears off, and then the real me pops out. What can I say?
So for a bit, you're talking maybe 3-4 minutes tops.
4 minutes pushing it. Really
And then you turn into Mr. Poppy.
Yeah, well, when I'm hanging around for lazy spirits to give me any sign that they're there, I have to entertain myself in the blank bit. So dancing, you saw my dancing. I know you were impressed with it.
I was fairly impressed. I think, I watched it a few times because I've never seen anybody dance on a ghost hunt before.
Who's Mr. Poppy?
Mr. Poppy for Nativity.
Oh, right.
The teaching assistant, you know who it is, Forrest, not Mr. Poppy. Have you seen the film Nativity? About the kids and they do the play. It's Christmas.
It's something we had to watch at Christmas every year in school, yeah.
Well, Mr. Poppy, he's a teaching assistant and he's insane. He's nuts, Actually, I've never seen somebody dance. Sorry.
I don't think I'm a nice nuts. I always describe myself as a harmless twat, so there you go.
Well, at least you're honest, I think it's actually, the other thing I liked about it was it's quite refreshing. You get these ghost hunts and they're very serious all the time, and it's the same tone of voice all the time. And it gets boring. No disrespect to any teams, but I think it gets boring. You need to put a bit of life into a ghost. It sounds kind of daft, a bit of life into a ghost hunt. You know what I mean?
A bit of character.
Yeah. Keep it real. Keep it real.
Aye, be yourself.
Go on.
What do you think? I mean, I've watched a few videos and people go out and you can tell that they're putting on this kind of act of being a serious ghost hunter.
I've seen that as well, and it's like I feel embarrassed for them because they're trying to be like a professional show, and it's like it's not working. Just be normal. Just be yourself. Make it more real.
But if you come across laid back, the spirits are going to want to interact with you more than someone that comes across pure dour-faced and straight-faced and serious.
I think you're right, and I agree with you. If a spirit sees you're laid back, you're more open, you're just being yourself, and I kind of like that person. I'll go and speak to them. And if somebody else has got a pole up their backside, they say, I'm not getting near him. What do you think of that theory?
Well, when I was at the prison doing the ghost hunt, we thought there was a child spirit in the room. That's okay. So I actually lay on the floor. Should have filmed it. It's a great moment. I lay on the floor with my legs in the air and my arms in the air, and I was going, "Come on, dance with me. Let's have a disco." And all my cat balls, the motion detected cat balls with lights in, they all started going off in all the four corners of the room. As soon as I stopped, they stopped. And we were stamping on the floor and dancing around, and we weren't setting them off. As soon as I lay on my back with my legs in the air, being silly, we got action.
Maybe I should try that.
Back up off the floor, darling, but you could try.
I'd probably get arrested.
Probably.
If I'm like that balls on the golf, I'd just get arrested.
Scottish man arrested for being silly.
Aye, for doing dance or something like that. You know what I mean? Did I see your cat's getting bigger? For the last time.
No. That's the sister cat. That was Phoenix. That was Draven last time. She's the bigger one, but that was Phoenix.
That was massive as well.
Aussie cats, built tough, mate.
There's a lot of them. They're walking with wee belts and that one lifting weights.
No,
Yeah.
to be fair, you're used to seeing our kittens, so there's obviously a big difference.
Our kittens are like wimps compared to yours. Yours are like bulldozers compared to yours. I mean, he's wanting to man up a bit. The two of you's man up, pulling some weight.
Toby doesn't need to put any more weight on. If Toby puts any more weight on, we're going to have to reinforce the floors.
There's that fat wee fucker, you know. But I think you need to be yourself in a ghost hunt. You can't be stuck up and all the rest because it just does not work. You know, I'm not saying that you lie on the floor and stick your legs up in the air. That's quite straight. You know, I've never heard of that method. But you know,
It's unique.
It's unique. If it works for you, Forrest, and fire Rindle, but go do us a favour, go and film it the next time you do it because I'd love to see it.
I will. Well, as soon as I get someone to film me, you'll have loads of entertainment. But because it's just me, it's quite hard to film everything myself.
Can you not get a tripod?
This phone here is actually on a tripod. Yes.
So you could film yourself using the tripod.
I could
Get a selfie stick.
Do a what?
Hold out a selfie stick. I've done that before and I felt like a wanker. It's like, oh, yeah, walking down the street, walking through a cemetery with a selfie stick. It's like, oh, God.
I was thinking of getting one for myself, but then I thought, no.
You bought one and I broke it. Yeah, we bought it way back at the start and I broke it, remember?
Did I use it? But I don't think I used it.
No, because I broke it before you had the chance to use it.
Before it goes out the bottles, but I had an idea to buy it and Sarah says I bought, so I must have bought one and just forgot about it. But I couldn't see myself walking about with this.
You feel like the biggest wank tard. It's hilarious. It's so funny.
You somebody looking out the window and you're walking about a cemetery at 2 in the morning with a selfie stick and a torch about like that. Back again. Get me the phone, film them. Do you know what I mean?
I think they're going to think that anyway if you're walking about a cemetery at 2 o'clock in the morning with a torch.
Well, it depends where you're. Like, say, Edinburgh, I think it's quite a common thing in Edinburgh. Folk will be used to seeing it.
Well, folk are used to seeing us.
Well, but walking about, like, say, Kilmarnock Cemetery with a selfie stick and a torch, will be like that. And everything, wouldn't it? You know.
But it works though. The footage looks all right. Just feel like I'm
because there's a button on the selfie stick and you plug it into your phone into the selfie stick and then when you click the button it
gimbal. I got a gimbal the other day, so this is going to be interesting. And that's my one with the button with the Bluetooth.
See, that's what this is. I've got this
and that'll make the footage a bit more smoother as well. Because I walk with a gimp. And you can see it in the footage and it's like, oh God. So yeah, I got a gimbal. So looking forward to using that.
We can look forward to some decent footage. All your footage is decent. I watched your videos. That sounded bad
that
there,
did
didn't
sound
it?
bad.
That didn't come out right there. We can look forward to some decent footage. I didn't even know that about it. Yeah, you get one of the things you say something and it's after you say it, you think, that sounded so wrong. But you don't think about it when you're saying it.
I know.
But, as you know, I've watched a few of your videos and they're really, really good. Have you ever done anything totally bizarre when I ghost hunt event? I'm not talking about sticking your legs up in the air, you know, just...
No, but I've had a spirit say, do a nude run. That was funny. It was a daytime thing at a cemetery out bush somewhere, and this voice came through, and it was like, "Do a nude run," and I didn't hear it in real time. I thought it was hilarious when I listened back to it. So there are playful spirits out there, but I don't know. I haven't really done anything silly on one.
That's a new. I've never done that. I've never done. They asked me to do a nude run. I don't blame them, quite frankly, but no.
No time we get anything silly through, just go the usual, go away and...
We only get serious spirits. We never get any funny spirits. We just seem to get the serious ones.
Well, no, because there was the one in here that was setting off the smoke alarm for weeks. Oh, it was murder. We done an investigation in here. We got some things, the cat balls and stuff lit up. And then for about 2 weeks straight, the smoke detector thing kept going off at random times.
How annoying.
It got to the point where I'd put the spirit box on and my wee girl had said to it, "Can you stop doing that? It's hurting my ears or something." And it was just sheer laughter coming through.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It
Messing with you. That's crazy.
It drove us nuts, and the guy came in and says, because one of the sensors, one of them was right above the living room door, and he says, it's because when you close your living room door, that's setting off. I says, no, it's no, because that thing goes off when the door's open and when it's shut. And luckily enough, we were standing and it went off, and I says, there you go, the living room door's open and that's gone off. He says, so you explain that one. He says, I've fitted hundreds of these and I've never seen that happen. I said, it goes off at 2 or 3 in the morning when we're in our bed. It just goes off randomly, but it would drive us nuts, you know. But so we were going to do another investigation in here, but we're kind of weary in case the smoke alarm start going off again.
Yeah, you don't want that to be annoying you for a while.
Can I don't want to take
out of it. Take the battery out of it.
See, that's the thing, it's wired into the mains.
Oh, okay. So you can't.
The fucker will still go off either way. Where the battery is wired to the mains. And
so I think we're going to skip the investigations in here for a while.
What about yourselves? Have you done investigations in your home?
Me?
I have, yeah. And we've used the Kinect camera and we've seen where they hang out. There's one that hangs out in a plant and one that sits on my bicycle, my chopper. And it's interesting. It's really interesting. And I've been meaning to set it up during lockdown as well, but it's like, I don't know, kind of chickened out for a little bit. I was like, I don't know where they hang out now. But one was hanging out on my couch a while ago. But I'd say within the next couple of weeks, I'll set up the Kinect again and see where it is hanging out in my lounge room and have a chat with it with the spirit box, because I didn't use the spirit box with it last time. It's definitely interesting.
Wasn't he sat on your sofa?
One was standing on my sofa. Yeah, there was that one.
And then
that was kind of cool.
Something green in your sofa, didn't you? That wasn't there before. Maybe you found something in your sofa, and you said it.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I found it. I clean under my couch cushions all the time, like I vacuum under there, and it's clean all the time. And this, I found a key underneath my cushions, and it had 33 stamped on it. I had it on a necklace somewhere, but yeah, that was interesting. So where the hell did that come from? And I had no one sleeping on my couch.
Mm-hmm.
So that was weird. Weird things pop up, weird things disappear and reappear, and it's been happening for so long, like decades, and it's like I'm just used to it.
So does it bother you anymore? What about you, Forrest? Have you had any mad experiences in your home?
In previous homes, yeah, which gave me that inquisitive gene to find out more about it. But I think the weirdest one for me was a house I lived in when I was about 20, student house, and I was lying in the bed one night, and it's an old terrace house, and there was some kids in the room next to me, and they used to cry, and you could hear the mum's footsteps coming up the stairs. And the one night that I heard the footsteps, and they didn't stop where they normally stop. They seemed to continue right into my room, and stopped by my bed. And you know when you hold your breath because you're that sort of, what? There's something in here with me. What the hell? And then my bed dipped, and I sort of went backwards into this dip. And by that point, I'm like, what? And then I felt a hand on my hip. It was like somebody had put their hand on my hip. And I was just frozen, my head half under the duvet, just like, oh my God, there's something here. And after about 30 seconds or so, the pressure came off my hip, the bed came back up, and I sort of went back to normal. And then I heard the footsteps go away. And at that point, I did like a proper Tom and Jerry's mom, where I just ran, ran down the stairs, and I was just gibbering in the front room, crying, going, "What the hell was that?" So that was a bit of a monumental thing that happened to me, and I can't explain it, but it was weird. There was something there enough to press the bed down so that I dipped backwards. And I was just frozen in fear.
Excuse my naivety. What's a Kinect?
All right, spelt KINECT. It's a Kinect camera, which was utilized from the Xbox Kinect cameras for gaming, and it's a structured light sensor, and they can pick up movement, body movement, and it's said to say that they pick up spirits, and it will form itself in the form of a stick figure, like a human-shaped stick figure.
I call it Sticky Man.
When there's nothing there.
Mm-hmm.
So, I find it very fascinating, and just being able to set it up in my own home and see where they hang out, it's phenomenal. But a lot of people are skeptic about it as well. They're like, "Oh, it's just matrixing that part," and it's like, well, all right, the one that's sitting on my bike looks like it's sitting on my bike with its hand on the handle and the foot on the pedal. It was like, explain that, I don't know. Fascinating.
I've seen them used many times in ghost shows and what have you, and YouTube and what have you, and they're fascinating, I find. And they'll be pointing at something, and there'll be maybe one person in front of the camera, but the camera will pick up two people. I call them sticky men.
Sticky man, yeah. Fascinating. So fascinating.
That is, because you see the guy that's really there.
Yeah.
But then you see this other one, you say, well, why is the camera picking that up? Because obviously the camera doesn't lie.
Yeah, exactly.
So
But
why?
there's a lot of skeptics out there, and they'll go, "Oh, it's just matrixing," but what is it matrixing? There's nothing there.
There's nothing there to matrix. It's just thin air.
With the last one I did with my mate Camel, we set it up pointing towards the couch, and we got like a stick figure rock up, and it was standing on the couch, and it was like, wow, okay, it's there. But then as soon as Camel moved, it went away. It was like, okay, well, where did that go? And
as when you see them dancing about, after you see three figures dancing about in the legs and everything, and you think, if that's a spirit, is the spirit actually dancing?
Yeah, maybe.
Elizabeth is dancing. I'm just going to let this cat in 2 seconds.
The cat's sitting at the door meowing. So
That's
what my cat was doing before. So yeah, I'm going to set up the Kinect again at some point on my own this time, just to see if it'll rock up if I'm here on my own. But it's been pretty quiet in my house activity-wise, which is okay because it's not here all the time. I think I'd go insane if it was.
Mm-hmm. Forrest, what's your favourite bit of what's your favourite equipment, favourite gadget? Do you have a favourite?
I'm enjoying playing with my EVP recorder at the moment, which is quite basic, but I like the Spirit Box, but it ruins the ambience for me. It's a bit loud, isn't it? So I like doing the EVPs at the moment, and I really would quite like a paranormal puck where you type in the questions, the spirit picks a winner in the bank. So something on the cards for me.
What does the paranormal puck do?
It's like you get an app, you get the puck and you lay it down, and you've got an app, and you can type in the questions, and then will pick a word from the word bank and answer it.
Right. Oh, okay.
A bit like those crappy apps you can get for your phone, but it's designed by Bill Chappell of Ghost Adventures. So
yeah, okay.
Like the idea of that one, sort of, asking a question with the technology so that they can use the energy of that to answer you.
Yeah, okay.
But that's about 250
Danny
quid.
Moss.
I know the Haunted Hunts UK, they use that and they've had quite a few good results of it, the pup.
Yeah, I like to have a play around with it, you know, just see what it does and see how effective it is, really. Yeah.
That's it. I mean, if you get a new bit of, equipment, then I think it's always good just to, take it out, try it out. It might be for you, it might not be for you. You need to just find out.
Just try them all. Try them all.
Yeah. For some, this is going to sound totally insane, and I shouldn't actually admit it, but see the noise that comes off the spirit box, the hissing.
Yeah.
I've always found that fascinating. I could sit and listen to that for hours for some mad reason. I don't know why.
Some people can't. It's like it's too noisy. It's crazy. It's like the S box, which is a bit different to the SB7. That's hell noisy, but you get so many amazing responses through that. It's crazy.
Mm.
I
I've always felt drawn to that. That noise that they make. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just nuts, same as you, Forrest. I don't know.
After a while.
But I never get fed up using it. We tried the Paratech app once, and we didn't like it. It was just totally stupid words it was giving us. We want to try the. Right, you can say the name exactly. I can't say it. Roma.
Oh,
The one that takes you to haunted locations.
Randonautica.
Oh yeah, I've done that one.
How did you find it?
Yeah, it was great. It was fantastic. Blew my mind, but it was like if you're thinking of something, you're going to notice it more anyway. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I did one Randonautica video, and my thing was just something simple like the color pink, and I saw pink. I saw pink petals, and I saw a dude wearing a pink helmet, and then towards my second spot that I went to, there was like another pink helmet, and then on my way home from that, there was pink petals everywhere. It was weird, but interesting.
You said you tried to
Yeah, I like the spirit box for a while, but then I like to experiment with things like the REM pods, setting them up and just seeing if you get a pattern and you get more than one going off, or the little cat ball flashy things that you and they've responded well as well. And we got all switch sort of going off, so touch the left ball for yes, the right ball for no, and we had that a good response with those. So sometimes the simplest little things work best.
We've never tried. We've used the cat balls in here twice, and we've always had a result of them. We've never actually thought of saying touch the right one for yes and the left one. That's actually quite a good idea.
But I think it's because we started up in June, so we started up the completely wrong time because we started just as the lockdown.
We started ghost hunting when you weren't allowed to go out.
Yeah.
But we've used the cat balls 3 times in here, and we've had a result of that went off the whole 3 of them, just random ones that went off every different time. So I like that, and I like the laser pen as well. But I'm going to steal your idea for us for the next time we're out, if that's all right. Right for yes and left for no. So that's quite a good idea. Why did we not think of that?
Because we're not clever enough, darling, to think of that.
Damn it. Right, that make a note of that. I'm only kidding, though. But no, it's quite a good idea. So, Forrest, is there anywhere that you wouldn't go?
Really enclosed spaces, probably. I'm quite curious, so I would go anywhere once at least.
Like small dark tunnels, stuff like that. Cellars.
I don't think there is anywhere I wouldn't go once. I'd give anything a go, because with me, I try and suppress my fear mode. So everyone else just thinks I'm well-armed and I don't get scared at all. But really, I'm quite scared, but I'm just going, yeah, I'll do it, because I can't stop myself saying stupid shit like that.
And you don't want people thinking, you know, you don't want them knowing she's a wee bit of a chicken, but you know, that there's no chance. I'm going to admit that I'm scared to go into that, you know, dungeon or whatever it is. What about you, Yvette? I think you're a bit of a warrior, same as Forresty, you know.
I wouldn't go into a cemetery in the middle of the night on my own. There's no way. I mean, I'd like to, but considering the amount of sexual assaults and some murders that have happened to women on their own in cemeteries here, it's like, no way. And you don't know what other creeps are lurking around. Like, I'm not scared of the ghosts. I'm scared of other human beings.
Yeah.
So
I've heard that saying before, the dead, there's no the dead that scare me, it's the living. And that's
yeah,
true.
it's so true, because you don't know what their intentions are.
Mm.
Because me and Camel were out at this bush cemetery out in the middle of nowhere, and a local drove past, and you could hear the car slow down. It's like, Camel, we got to turn off all the lights. They're coming back. I can hear him, and he doesn't care about that. But as a woman, I'm always on the alert for that kind of stuff. So,
Mm.
so I wouldn't do that on my own. There's no way.
You see, I'm lucky that because I've been to Greyfriars at all sorts of, you know, silly o'clock, you know, like afternoon, and evening, 2 or 3 in the morning. I've been wandering around Greyfriars myself with my phone, using my phone as a light and what have you. So, doesn't it? I don't think there's anywhere I wouldn't go. I don't think there isn't anywhere. What about you?
Can't do. I don't want to go back there.
Did that move?
It's a cat. It's a cat right under it.
I saw a movement inside the my eye. I told that thing about it. No, it's a cat. He's doing behind us.
My two are asleep now. I'll be back. I just got to go to the girls' room.
Oh, come on. He's sprawled out underneath my screen.
So what's the situation that you're in for? Is you still in lockdown, or you coming out of lockdown, or?
I feel like I've got to ask Boris for that answer, to be honest. Tilford, I think, is tier 2, so we're on lockdown till the 2nd or 3rd of December. But you know, you can still go to the shops and get elbowed and shoulder barged by people, but you can't go around your mate's house or in your mate's garden. So it's all a bit weird, isn't it, really? If I'm working and I have to go and train somebody's dog, because I'm a dog trainer, I can go in the house and train their dog. But I can't go around my mate's house. But most of my mates have dogs. So, you know, sometimes I might pop round and train their dogs. It can't work. You know, we take the precautions. I'm pretty much staying in the house all the time and just going to get me food and that, and maybe have a wander around the forest on my own and take pictures of mushrooms, you know, like you do.
Mm.
No, it's pretty boring, really.
See, I'm not the only person that takes pictures of mushrooms when we're out and about.
You take pictures of blades of grass. Pictures of anything.
No, I take pictures of things that are quite interesting.
Like a worm.
I've never taken a picture of a worm.
I'll show you if he's a worm. Sorry about worm. Just
Worm.
said it too fast.
No, I've took pictures of butterflies. I've took pictures of a mushroom because it was quite a weird, unusual shape.
We went to a place, I can't even say the name of it, Cambus Netting House. It's about half an hour away from us one afternoon, and I was to a wee walk around the place, and I came back, and there was a bit of a log, and Sarah was bent over the log with the camera, the phone, sorry, looking right to that. She was about that much away from the log with the phone, and I thought, what the hell are you doing? So she was taking photos of mushrooms. You know, I would do.
Because it was a really interesting looking mushroom.
What colour was it?
White. I'll need to see if I can find the picture.
Google Hunt. What's the name?
Because it was a really interesting mushroom, and you're saying, "Oh, you're a weirdo for taking pictures of a mushroom." But
This is a mushroom.
it was a really interesting mushroom. I'd never seen a mushroom like it before in my life.
Do you do that? Do you take pictures of weird things, just random anything?
I found a really great red and white spotty mushroom at the Springvale Cemetery. So I took a photo of that and I put it in the video. It was fascinating. It was just this lone mushroom in the middle of like this green grass. It was great.
If it's a lonely wee mushroom, then fair enough, you know. I think
A lonely wee mushroom.
if it's all alone, why are we talking about lone? Why are we talking about lone mushrooms? Forest Lady Pizzazz is where you're located.
At the moment,
Sorry about that, lady. Try to pronounce the name.
I'm in Shropshire at the moment, but I might be moving depending on a new job. Who knows? Got to wait for this lockdown to pass. So yeah, Shropshire.
Still waiting for the photo. I do apologise. I mean, that. Why'd you take a photo of that?
Because those are for seat in the
Oh,
background.
that's Edinburgh Castle. Never mind. I thought that was Glasgow. Never mind. Sorry, my mistake. I thought she took a picture of Glasgow somewhere.
We've not been to Glasgow.
Yvette, I've got a question for you.
What's that?
Well, my friend who's a medium, she doesn't like ghost hunting in cemeteries because she believes that's where the spirits are resting,
Mm-hmm.
and that you should find where the person actually passed. So, what are your thoughts on cemeteries? Do you get a lot of activity in cemeteries?
I do, and I have definitely got heaps of. I mean, you know, not every cemetery is haunted or has activity, but you just got to go with the energy. But if you go to somewhere where they died, like I've only been to a couple. This is before I even started my YouTube channel. I've had activity at a place of a car accident in Adelaide, South Australia. That was definitely fascinating, where a young guy died in a car accident. I'd actually like to go back there again and do something. But I don't know. I mean, it just depends. Just you can go to both as well, where they died, or I don't know. Like, just go with the energy. If you feel energy there, then you might get something.
I just wondered whether the sort of area that they died in has a more traumatic response, say, than a cemetery, which they were more at rest, or whether you get restless spirits everywhere and anywhere.
I'd say both, really. I reckon there could be both. Like, I mean, if they died suddenly and they don't realise that they're dead, they might still be hanging around at that area, confused, I find. With cemeteries, with the ones that have actually had activity, I find that, you know, they appreciate people coming in to talk to them.
Yeah.
Some tell you to piss off or whatever, but, you know, it's still fascinating. I don't know. Both, I reckon. Just work out what's best for you. But cemeteries are cool. And a whole rest thing. There's heaps of cemeteries here where you're not allowed to go into at night, and they've got massive walls, so you can't really.
Where I am at the moment, we're on the edge of the forest. It's got loads of deer, and it goes up to a place called the Wrekin, which is the Shropshire Hill, you know, that everyone walks up. And all around the base of there is mining places where they used to sort of coal mine. And there's I've been to a couple of churches nearby and found mass graves for sort of pit incidents. So there's the Springwell pit incident where I think about 12 chaps died going down the mines on the chain, and the chain snapped.
Jesus.
So I'm trying to find the location of this Springwell pit that the house built on it. However, I found the Nine Men of Madeley is another one. I found the graves to those in a random churchyard because I just like going and taking pictures of graves and hanging about.
Yeah, you take great photographs.
But the Nine Men of Madeley, I've actually found the site, which is probably about a 5-minute drive away, where the pit was, and it's in a little bit of forest. So I'm going to go up there at some point in the day.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah, but I wonder what activity I'll pick up there if I go at night. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, at night time it's always definitely interesting, and it, you know, your senses are a little bit more heightened as well.
Yeah, for sure.
I think with spirit, you know, you were saying forest where the kind of most likely hang about. I think it's doing the individual spirit where they felt more comfortable in life, and you know, as what say if somebody dies suddenly for a car accident, you probably might find that they hang about the site of the accident because they're still confused. They don't understand what's happened to them. They don't, you know, and they're trying to work it out. And obviously we know that spirit has no realisation of time. You know, there is no kind of, you know, morning, noon and night for them. But cemeteries, I mean, you know, say Greyfriars is reported to be the most haunted cemetery in the world. We've been there many times. When I walk in, you can feel the spirit standing about. Basically, it's like walking into a, you know, a community centre and there's people standing all around. That's just down to me. That's just down to the sheer volume of plague victims that are actually buried there. That are still.
That'll be a fascinating place, definitely.
You know, they don't know. Oh, it's Greyfriars. I could talk for hours about Greyfriars. It's my favourite location. And the fact that it is basically just a hill of bodies that you're walking on.
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
There's 492 headstones in Greyfriars, but the estimation is about 500,000 bodies are buried.
Wow, that's insane.
I've been there many times, and I still find it hard to comprehend. We've got a video on our YouTube channel. I've been doing the back of Greyfriars and filmed the original gate for it. When it, you know, because Greyfriars has been around since the 1100s. I mean, it started out as a garden. That was its intention back then, and it was level, was flat, and it's just the sheer amount of bodies that have been piled in there over the centuries, especially during the plague years. It's just created this hill. The video is on our YouTube channel, and I film the gate and then I turn the camera around and you can see the actual incline of how high it goes up. And it's just bodies. That's basically, a lot of people don't believe me, but all they have to do is, you know, they can look it up, they can watch documentaries. And the thing is, the bodies are literally about a foot underneath where you're walking.
That's insane. That's insane.
It's just totally.
I can imagine the spirits there would be restless, definitely. And if you're picking up on the energy, then I'd say there's something definitely there.
There is. I mean, it sits on one of the main routes in and out of Edinburgh. You know, so all day long there's, well, not so much just now, but normally there's trucks, buses, cars, vans, you know, going along the road. And you get tourists and you get other people living in Edinburgh. But as soon as you walk into Greyfriars, it's like stepping back in time. I don't know if you have experienced that as well. You forget that there's a city outside the gate. It just kind of draws you in. Wow. And you can just, it doesn't matter if you're, you know, psychic or whatever, but
pick up the energy.
You feel the energy as soon as you walk in. It's so, but the other thing is, it's not a negative energy. A lot of people dread getting into Greyfriars because, you know, its reputation. But it's not a negative energy. It's more a calming and peaceful energy that's in it. And, you know, it really, really is. If you ever get a chance to come over to it, head for Edinburgh.
Spirit, when I was in Edinburgh, I didn't visit there, but I visited a few other little cemeteries, took heaps of photos. But
I forgot you'd been to Edinburgh. Are you done to go to Greyfriars?
Yeah, definitely on my list next time.
you missed out. You're lucky for us because you're closer to Greyfriars than Yvette is, obviously.
No, the drive from here to Greyfriars would probably be what Yvette drives every day just to go to the shop, you know.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Yeah. I've got so many pieces within sort of 5, 10, 20 minutes here. There's so much history. But in Australia, it's just so far, spaced far apart, isn't it? And you just like, you don't think of anything like 6 hours. Yeah, we'll do that. It's like, what? No,
Yeah.
you can get to we're on the aeroplane in 6 hours. You want to drive back.
We've got a
Yes.
friend who's in Alaska, Valles, I think it's called, in Alaska. And the nearest town to him is 6.5 hours away. It's Anchorage. And he showed us a couple of photographs about where he stays, and there's literally
Nothing.
nothing.
Wow.
There's one road in and out, and if the snow gets too bad, then
Stuck in.
I,
That would suck.
a woman contracted the virus a couple of weeks ago, and she'd to be taken out by helicopter because they couldn't get in to get her. But he loves it there. You know, there's literally nothing. 6.5 hours driving to Anchorage, and that's the nearest bit of civilization. During the winter, the whole town just shuts down. I don't know if you've ever seen the film 30 Days of Night.
No.
You've seen it, Forrest?
Yeah, I seem to recall it, yeah. And it's right in the snowy outback, isn't it? Just
Aye. That's what it's like where he is. You know, the whole everything just shuts down. There's nothing. So you similar to there, you kind of out in the middle of nowhere.
I live in a city, but yeah, if I want to drive out, it's a bit of a hike out. Like I got a drive to do today, which is about 45 minutes drive out to a friend's house, and then a further hour out to she's a hairdresser. She's going to do my hair. I'm going to be her hair model. But yeah, we're going to do that. So I'm going to take my equipment, and because it's down at the peninsula and the weather's going to be good the next couple of days, so I'm going to take my equipment out down there and see if I can pick up something down there. Some crazy places.
I've watched a few Australian films, like say Wolf Creek and what have you, and there literally is nothing for miles and miles.
We got to look at Australia as the country, like it's desert all in the middle, and it's all green around the edges, but it's just like nothing on the inside, just desert. Just desert. It's crazy.
No, I don't think we could handle that, could we?
No.
So you got a few investigations coming up in a bit.
Yeah, I got a few in the bag, so I'm just going to wing it today and tomorrow, and then I'm going to plan one up in New South Wales. So I'm going to take my new car for a drive and see how that goes. Visit family, but do some stops in little towns on the way.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we got some interesting bush rangers, so I want to do some stories on them because they're fascinating, nasty but fascinating. So
What are they? They just guys that patrol the bush? Or, I know that sounds a good question.
just you know how you get your bikie gangs these times, and dudes ride around on bicycles. It's basically like a gang that would go around on horseback and terrorize and rob people and banks and pubs and stuff. So sorry, my cat's gone crazy. Yeah, so there's a few naughty boy bush rangers that I want to do some stories on. But the first one I want to do is this what's this called? Captain Moonlight, his name was, and he was alleged to be a gay bush ranger, Australia's first gay bush ranger. So I want to do a story on him. But his dying wish was to have his one of his gang members, alleged lover, to be buried with him, and his wish came true like 100 years later. So that was kind of cool. Captain Moonlight, and he's buried out at Gundagai in New South Wales. Gundagai, New South Wales, yeah.
I see that name, well, a Gundagai. I can see that one. The other one, no, I'm going to try and say, give me Gundagai. I can pronounce that. That's all right. So I can talk Australian.
Gundagai, yeah. That's another weird name. It's better than Wollongong.
I'll put that on my resume. I speaks Australian. Just a guy.
Shut up.
Well, I also couldn't live in Australia. Just, I mean, they're nice people, you know, but all that bush and bush and bush, just no for me. No for me.
It's not that bad. Is it, Forrest? You've been here. You know what it's like.
I like bush.
How did you used to originally hook up then meet? Because obviously Forrest, you're for Shropshire and Yvette's for the Outback.
Well, you knew Eddie. You tell the story.
Oh well, I kind of wanted to go to Australia, so I went. And there's a group on Facebook for POMs in Melbourne, and this guy Eddie started chatting to me and giving me some information, and then went over, and he was about half an hour away from where I was staying, so we met up. And he just sort of said, "Oh, you get on with Flea, you know." And he took me over your house, didn't he? And we met and over a couple of days, and went over there about 3 or 4 times and just hung out with him and met Yvette. We had a nice barbecue on
the beach. Yeah, that was nice. That was fun.
To drive around in your car. Your car? Yeah, your car. Your old car. Yeah, and you showed me the sights, so it was nice just to meet some friendly folk there, because I think really you were the only people that talked to me over there. What was going on really? But you know, I'm from a place called Bilston, and it's full of people from, you know, salt of the earth people. Would talk to anybody. So yeah, it's nice to meet a few people over there.
Is that when you did your rain dance as well?
Oh, it's more of a fire dance over there, wasn't it? There's all the fires going on when I was there.
Oh, that was insane. Yeah, we were camping and we had to get, what do you call it, evacuated from where we were camping, and we had to, you know, it was so close. And like the smell was really thick in the air. I was like resting on the river on my floaty with a few beers and could smell this fire. And it was like, well, that doesn't smell too good. And then like that afternoon we got told to evacuate. So, you know, it wasn't, and that was up near the New South Wales border. That wasn't fun at all. That was horrible, actually.
That's just insane. That's just insane, isn't it? Well, I think we're going to wrap it up there, ladies, just because of the hour. But if Forrest and Yvette, you can just hang on the panel just for a couple of minutes, if that's all right. Don't disappear on us. Promise. She doesn't look too sure, does she?
Can I disappear?
You can disappear any time you want. I don't care. So thanks very much for coming in, everybody, for staying up late. Thanks Yvonne Yvette, sorry. Fucking Yvonne and Forrest for coming in. We're back on Tuesday night. We've got the actor and filmmaker Craig Arhan in, and he's going to be accompanied by film director and writer David Espinonia. I think I pronounced his second name right. So they're coming in on Tuesday night to
not Espinosa.
Espinosa.
Espa something.
They're famous for the Evil Down the Street film, the Evil Down the Street, Demon Hunter, The Crumb. So they'll be here on Tuesday night to have a wee word with us. And but thanks very much for coming in, and we'll see you on Tuesday. And
you're welcome.
Be safe.
Bye.